I'd like to welcome you today to this information session to learn more about the Tropical Forest Landscapes online certificate program. Our year-long certificate program offers a unique opportunity for environmental professionals from around the world to connect with the Yale School of the Environment, develop concrete skills, advance their careers, and explore science and solutions related to tropical land management from many different perspectives. Again, my name is Abby York, and I'm the online program administrator for the Environmental Leadership and Training Initiative, or ELTI, at the Yale School of the Environment. I'm joined today by my colleagues Jillian Bloomfield, Frederick Aday, and Emmy Nicholson, who will also be facilitating this session and serve as mentors and coordinators throughout the program. A few notes before we get this session started. This will be recorded, so you will receive a link to the recording after the webinar ends, and it will be posted on our YouTube channel. Additionally, we have launched a poll to learn more about each of you and see at which point in the process you are in considering applying to this program. If you get a chance, please fill out the poll. We will be sharing the results with everyone at the end of the session. And then finally, we will conclude this information session with a Q&A. While we do hope to address many of your questions during today's presentation, we also encourage you to submit any questions that come up in the Q&A feature of this webinar. Now we'd like to take a moment and more formally introduce ourselves. So as I mentioned, my name is Abby York, and I am the online program administrator for ELTI. My primary role related to the certificate program is admissions and tuition management. I would now like to pass it over to Jillian to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jillian Bloomfield. I am the Associate Director for Online Programs here at the Environmental Leadership and Training Initiative. And I manage our online programs as a whole and serve as an advisor and mentor during the certificate program and can help also connect what's going on in the certificate program to the faculty instructors based at Yale and our broader network at ELTI.
Great, thank you, Jillian. Fred, would you like to introduce yourself now?
Yeah, thanks, Abby. My name is Frederick Aday, and a postgraduate associate here at the Environmental Leadership and Training Initiative, ELTI. In the program, I serve as one of the mentors and also spearhead alumni engagement.
Great, thanks, Fred. And lastly, I will pass it over to Emmy to introduce herself and to begin our presentation.
Great. Thanks, Abby. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Jillian. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. My name is Emmy Nicholson. I'm the online training associate for the Tropical Forest Landscapes online certificate program at the Environmental Leadership and Training Initiative, or ELTI, here at the Yale School of Environment, also known as YSE. You'll see a couple acronyms come at you in this presentation, but thank you very much for joining us, and let's get started. So we're going to walk you through the agenda. We'll start with a program overview. We'll move into participant experiences, as well as features and benefits of the program. We'll talk a bit about the cost and admissions, other additional opportunities to learn more about the program, and move into a Q&A where you can ask us some questions. While we encourage you to share where you're coming from, your name in the chat, we can also see Q&A or questions and answers that we're posting in the Q&A function. So we encourage you to use that as well. Starting with the program overview. So our Tropical Forest Landscapes Conservation, Restoration, and Sustainable Use online certificate is approximately a year-long program that consists of 4 core courses, each lasting about 8 weeks. The first course will take you through the fundamentals, some social science and natural science concepts that are really core to understanding some of these issues currently facing tropical forest landscapes. We'll also then move into week 2, more discussing the people. What are human dimensions and engagement opportunities to work with communities and people locally or on the ground in the landscape you may be interested in? With strategies in our third course, we'll talk more about the land use planning and implementation of various projects, case studies, tools, and methods that may be useful for you to use in these landscapes. Moving finally into our funding course in the 4th part, where we talk a lot about finance concepts, tools, and maybe even some emerging trends and observations in the area of funding tropical forest landscapes. And while this is all going on, you're going to be taking these key aspects of knowledge and theory and applying them more towards practice in your capstone course. This lasts over the 10 months of the program, where you will design a conservation or restoration project of your choice based on a geography, personal interest, work relationship that you are currently engaged with, or something that you would like to be engaged with. There's also an optional component to all of this. There's a field course that lasts for 1 week after you've completed the online program. In this field course, you'll see conservation and restoration in practice. So taking, once again, these knowledge points and parts of the theory that you are learning and seeing them applied in one of our field locations based in one of the countries that ELTI is engaged with. Well, we want to know a little bit more about who is this program for, and we'll show you here on the right. You'll see participant sectors of the past 5 years, where we've had over 400 participants join this program from over 280 organizations, representing a wide variety of sectors from private, nonprofit, government, academia, or some other association. But really, we want to see, or we have seen as well, professionals from government, private industry, NGOs working on project design and landscape management, or maybe you might be a staff member from a foundation or business looking to work in aid agencies and seeking to fund or promote effective programs in these landscapes. As well as, are you some participants that have come in from academia, whether you're a lecturer, a graduate student, a staff member, a recent graduate, something along those lines, really looking to supplement your knowledge in this field. You may also be on the ground. You could be a landowner, farmer, rancher, or community organizer, and you want to look towards enhancing management within your community. But really, this is for anyone who is interested in learning how to design, implement, and monitor conservation and restoration initiatives in these landscapes. I want to show you a little bit more about our program participants over the past 5 years. We've had people coming from all around the world. Whether you're coming from the Americas, from Asia, Africa, the Pacific, Europe, we're representing a lot of different people that are not located in tropical forest landscapes or are currently engaged in forest landscapes. There's a wide variety of options based on, where you want to work, where you're currently working, where you're from, where you live. We've seen a lot of diversity. And with that, I'm really hoping that we continue to see more and really expand this map as well. So why do participants enroll? Some have said they've wanted to hone their skills in the area of forest restoration, expand their network, learn from people in different countries, build out that network, that broad perspective of forest issues, really learn new tools, understand what is emerging and what are these new strategies to help restore forests in their country, start a new career in this field, and maybe even take these skills from the program to design that actual project that can be moved forward in the future, and looking to advance their careers and achieve results for conservation and livelihoods from anywhere in the world. And that's one of the benefits of this being an online program. A little bit more about participants' particular experiences. So, who are you going to be engaging with in this program? We've got a variety of faculty and expert affiliates associated with the Yale School of Environment, or YSC. They're from a wide variety of geographies, backgrounds, and disciplines, all looking to really assist you in building out your project, gaining this knowledge, and applying these in tropical forest landscapes. And here's just a sampling of some of the lead and co-instructors that you'll be engaging with in the program. In addition, we also have a variety of guests come in and provide some expert contributions in some of their perspectives and experiences as they've worked in this environment and with variety of people and issues, whether it's on forest carbon markets, on engaging local communities, on participatory data gathering. There's a wide variety of case studies that we offer. There's also the opportunity that you and the participants will get to engage with each other in online spaces and in person. Our annual cohort size typically ranges from 70 to 90 participants. Here on the right-hand side, you can see one of our introductory Zoom sessions where everyone's getting to meet each other, say hi, and really network. And then here on the left, actually in the field course from this past cohort, some of these people from the online sphere got to meet in person on one of our training landscapes, and it was a really wonderful experience. Throughout the program, you'll also get the opportunity to engage with us, your program mentors, and other Yale student fellows. So we've got a really lovely community here, able to help you through every step of the way. Any questions you have about the program, about the content, anything that might be of interest to you, we are here to help you. In any given week, there's a wide variety of materials and content that you could be engaging with, whether it's videos, readings, interactive presentations, or case studies. And here we're showing you an example of what you might see, for example, in week 3 of the People course. What are some core concepts and maybe some videos that you may be trying to watch or learn from, see these case studies and motivations, engagement, things like that. You'll also be given the opportunity for feedback. So within some of these online sessions, not only will you be interacting, you'll also be getting feedback from many of our lead instructors and experts that we are inviting. From live sessions, discussion boards online, peer-to-peer exchange, and expert review, these are really wonderful opportunities to get some more information, get a new view of what you might be doing, and really engage in this online space. In this process, as you're working on some of your assignments or your project, there's the opportunity to take this knowledge and really apply it. You'll be given the opportunity for self-reflection or guided exercise, and really taking your capstone project and being able to make it into a personal experience. Here we have 2 examples of some recent capstone projects where Angelina, for example, had done a project on conservation and restoration of key valued flora species in Atewa Range Forest Reserve in Ghana, as well as Anne had done a community-led forest project in Aotearoa or New Zealand. About the optional field course. So we offer a variety of different landscapes that LT works with and partners with to give you really that on-the-ground practical experience, seeing the application of this knowledge. Whether here on the left, you're seeing program participants visiting a farmer-managed mixed species agroforestry system in Brazil, or here in the center, you're seeing participants meeting with representatives of a local government unit before a site visit in the Philippines. And then here on the far right, you're seeing program participants learn by doing and preparing for tree planting in Panama. So a variety of options to see some of this knowledge applied. Talking a little bit more about the features and benefits of the program, what are you as the participant going to get from it? So just to show you some numbers, participant satisfaction, we've had 97% of our program graduates say they're extremely or very satisfied with their experience in the program. 94% of graduates have said that the program has met their goals for enrolling extremely or very well. And this is a survey of past 5 cohorts. In addition to that, you'll gain this access to that global network we've been mentioning of current and past participants. So Fred will go a little bit more into the alumni engagement, but we're really encouraging you to work with a lot of different people from a wide variety of locations. Emily in particular, who is a graduate from France, said that these exchanges they had in the weekly live sessions made her forget that the program is online, and really establishing that friendly network was something that she really valued. You'll also be able to gain a holistic perspective and practical skills. While we offer many different disciplinary perspectives, opportunities to reflect, engage, and discuss, or applied assignments with expert feedback, we're really showing you that this can be a balanced approach to understanding people and the landscape in a wide variety of contexts that make this a holistic opportunity. Receiving support and guidance along the way. We really are invested in your success, and we want to make sure that you gain this learning success through the opportunities we offer through mentorship, facilitation, and a flexible learning schedule. We really do want to make sure you're having the opportunity to make this a personalized experience for you and apply things in a wide variety of contexts that you're working in. Leonardus in particular had mentioned that the mentors really support each participant, and we review and provide valuable feedback on the assignments. With the capstone project, you're taking principles of project planning, logistical assessment, and design tools and applying them to a project of your choice. This can be a real life project of your choice, or it can also be a hypothetical initiative. We also offer options to partner. If you're coming into the program with someone you're working with or someone from your organization, community, local group, we would really encourage you guys to work together to build out this project and offer opportunities to do so. And once you finish the program, you'll be able to have a situation model for your project, a detailed project proposal, or tailor your presentation for a target audience. Federico in particular thought that the capstone project was transformative, that the exercises and guidance from ELTI's experts brought depth and direction to his ideas and really prepared him for that real world application. With the capstone project, you can see that there's been a variety of involvement, whether you're personally involved in it on a professional level or more directly, whether it is something that's hypothetical, you have no relationship, or you're partnering with an outside organization. We've seen a lot of different things across the board. And here are just two examples where Zipporah had addressed degradation in Longshuan Forest in Nigeria, and Ritika had focused on sustainable management of forests and non-timber forest products for the betterment of Chetzigar's forest and tribal forest communities. Let's talk a little bit about what happens after the program. And with that, I'll actually pass it off to Fred to talk a little bit more about what participants have been working on.
Thanks so much, Emmy. So, what happens after the program? These are a few ways in which our participants have put what they learned in the program into action. Some have planned and implemented initiatives at the landscape level. Others have also implemented new practices. Some of our participants have also developed comprehensive monitoring frameworks for projects. Through the program, some graduates have created funding proposals. Our past participants think holistically and critically about conservation. Some past participants have developed participatory approaches to stakeholder engagement. And most of our past participants say they recognize the bias and critical issues of social justice. In a survey of our past participants, 93% of our respondents reported that they have already made changes in land management practices or approaches. Rodolph from Kenya, who graduated from the program in 2023, says, and I quote, "The knowledge and skills I acquired from the certificate program make me confident and well-equipped to undertake my role as a restoration practitioner. I received amazing mentorship, established incredible new networks, and deepened my understanding of topics highly relevant to my work to manage the restoration of 10,000 hectares of degraded landscape in Tana Delta, Kenya." Also, some of our past participants have made significant efforts towards implementing what they learned from the program and putting knowledge into action. Notable among them are Narivo and Ason, both from the 2020 cohorts. After completing the TFL program, Narivo was quickly solicited by the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development in Madagascar. There, she helped design a 10-year strategic plan for the ministry to implement a new national environmental program and headed a new development and environment policy. On the other hand, Ason from Bangladesh has spearheaded efforts to address the complex environmental issues facing refugee camps in Cox's Bazar. He has launched initiatives to protect and restore over 700 hectares of degraded land. Next slide. Our past participants also make significant advances in their careers and professional development after the program. Godwin from Ghana and a 2023 graduate of the program says, I have started a new role with Rainforest Alliance as a lead thriving landscape industry river landscape in Ghana, an area spanning 244,000 hectares, including 5 forest reserves. My immediate tasks are to develop a vision, strategies, and implementation action together with stakeholders and partners. Essentially, the certificate program in practice. Laura, also a 2023 graduate located here in the United States, also shared that the program provides concrete tools for the workplace and lead to more holistic, systematic, and thoughtful project design. Because of the knowledge gained in this program, I was able to transition within my organization to work more directly on land management planning. We engage with our alumni in various ways. We have both in-person and online events to keep our alumni connected with the help of our team and our alumni committee members. We organize webinars on relevant topics and invite our past participants to share their expertise or attend and learn current trends from professionals. We have monthly regional speed networking events to help past participants connect with others from different cohorts located within their regions. We organize virtual reunions to bring together participants from various years to connect and share experiences and expertise. We recently launched our networking platform, which gives past participants the opportunity to stay connected with the wider LT community. We use our social media handles as a means of connecting with our alumni. We are active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where we have a group for past participants. We also collect stories from our past participants, which we feature on our social media handles and our website. During the International Society of Tropical Foresters Conference, which is held at the Yale School of the Environment each year, we organize a reception for all of our affiliates who are able to make it to the conference to meet Yale master students, YSC faculty, and our team in person. Our alumni committee regional representatives also work on organizing in-person events for past participants within their regions. With that, I'll pass it on to my colleague Abby to talk more about costs and admissions.
Great, thank you, Fred. Before I get into this next section, I did want to remind folks to fill out the poll from the beginning of the webinar. We'll close this poll just before the Q&A session and discuss the results. Also, I know I've mentioned in the chat as well, but please continue to submit questions in the Q&A feature. We have a bunch of questions coming in. I mentioned earlier, we hope to get to all of them, but if not, we'll talk about details on following up with our team. All right, so going through the cost of in admissions for the certificate program, for the 2025-2026 program, tuition is $7,500 US, and tuition includes 4 8-week online courses and the 10-month-long capstone project, unlimited access to all course materials, support from mentors throughout the program, face-to-face online interaction with experts, and personalized expert advice on your coursework. As Emmy mentioned earlier, we do also have the optional field course. This is separate and optional. Tuition for this is $2,500 US, and the tuition includes a 1-week immersion experience in the tropics, as well as the in-country ground transportation, food, lodging, course materials, instructors, and site visits for the duration of the course. For both opportunities, scholarships are available. So we do have scholarships available, as I mentioned. Starting off, we have our partial scholarships. These are all available on a competitive basis. They range from 25 to 75% off of your tuition fee. Please complete the scholarship application in the main application in order to be considered for these scholarships. This requires a short essay for each award type. You can see below the Leadership and Impact, Career Development, and General Award. And admission decisions are independent of scholarship requests. We also have the 3 Cairns Fellowship. This is fully sponsored online tuition sponsored by the 3 Cairns program, geared towards individuals working on climate solutions in the Global South. In order to be eligible for this scholarship, you would need to hold primary citizenship from a country in the global south, have professional or academic experience relevant to climate solutions, and actively be working on climate solution implementation. Again, you would need to complete the fellowship application section within the main application in order to apply. And admission decisions are made independent of any fellowship requests. We do also encourage participants to seek out external funding. So this would come in the form of employer support, professional development grants, or other awards such as the AmeriCorps Education Award or the WWF Education Award. We do have some examples of organizations who have sponsored their employees. So Isaac, for example, was sponsored by his organization, Conservation International, as well as Justina, who received support from her organization, USAID. I'd like to go through some important dates for the application cycle. I saw in the chat already some folks are asking when applications open. So that will be on February 3rd this year, and they will stay open until March 28th. On April 25th, admission decisions would be sent out. May 16th is the deadline to enroll. May 30th, your first tuition payment would be due. And finally, the program will start on July 21st this year. So details on how to apply. First, we would encourage you to visit our website to review the application requirements in detail and to begin preparing for your application. We encourage you to review the program dates, curriculum and program details, application requirements, and the technical requirements of participating in the program. So your application, again, this is going to be in an online form, but all of the required materials include submission of the online form, your resume, a personal statement and 2 short response statements, a scanned or electronic transcript, and 1 professional reference. There are a couple of optional materials as well. This includes documentation of additional coursework and official TOEFL or IELTS test score result reports. Again, these are optional. They're not required materials to submit, but if you feel like it would help support your application, you are welcome to submit it. So we have a few tips to keep in mind for submitting your application. Reviewing requirements early and starting to gather your materials will be really helpful in making sure you can submit your application on time. Similarly, contacting your professional reference ahead of time, ensuring that they know that this is coming kind of down the line is really helpful in submitting your applications. We encourage you also to pay special attention to the essay requirements and be specific and personal when responding to the essays. And also, please reach out to tropicalcertificate@yale.edu to reach our team with any questions, technical issues, or anything else that comes up during the application cycle. All right, now we'd like to move into some additional opportunities for you. All right, so coming up, we do have a couple of other learning opportunities to learn more about the program. As you can see on this list here, we have some coffee chats from really January through March. These are great sessions. They're a little bit smaller and just in a regular Zoom meeting. It's a great opportunity to hear more from program mentors, to talk one-on-one and actually ask your questions live. And then on February 11th, we have another information session. This one will be a little bit different. We'll have a panel of 3 past participants who will join us and talk a little bit about their experiences in the program, as well as focus on their capstone project a little bit. All right, and if you have not already, please sign up for our mailing list. This is a great way to stay in the loop, receive updates when applications open, and other communications throughout the application cycle. And you also have the opportunity to speak one-on-one with a program mentor. So again, that's Jillian, myself, Emmy, and Fred there on the slide. Please email tropicalcertificate@yale.edu if you would like to schedule a one-on-one call. This can be about anything about program experience, the application process, or if you just want to learn a little bit more. All right, so now before we move into the Q&A, I do want to close the poll and share the poll results. I'll give another second in case anyone else wants to respond to it. All right, So you should be able to see the results now. As you can see, there's about 17% of you who are just learning about the program. Another 26% are interested but haven't quite decided whether or not they plan to apply. We have 45% who are interested and planning on applying, and 9% that are definitely going to apply to the program, which is great to hear. I do see we have 3% for other. You guys are welcome to share in the chat where you're at in the process, what you're thinking about. Regardless of which stage you selected, I hope you found today's information session beneficial. Whether you're still learning about the program, thinking about applying, or definitely applying, I would really encourage each of you to join us for one of our upcoming learning sessions, either the coffee chat or again, the information session with the participant panel on February 11th. These are really great opportunities to hear more about the program, speak directly with program mentors, or hear directly from the past participants. So we would now like to move into the Q&A session of our information session. We have received a lot of questions in the chat, so if we do not get to your specific questions, you are welcome to follow up with our team at tropicalcertificate@yale.edu. And I would now like to turn things back to Fred, who will moderate our Q&A session.
Yeah, thanks so much, Abby. So we have some questions in the Q&A session. Please do open to put your question in there if you have not already done so. And the first question I saw was about cost and scholarships. So in the chat, I saw another question related to this. And the question was, which countries are considered as the Global South? We would like to pick that. Jillian, would you like to answer that?
Sure, Fred. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone for all of your amazing questions coming in. So the question about Global South, the university right now is fairly broad in their definition of Global South. So if you view yourself as part of that category, we encourage you to apply to the Three Karens program if there isn't an exact country specification. So that's a very quick answer to that. And then you can, in the essays, you'll explain even more so how the scholarship would help you achieve your goals for climate action on the ground. And so focus, we encourage you to focus much more on how your current work and future work would relate to the prompts for that. And don't worry too much about country.
There are a couple other questions about scholarship as well that Fred, I'd like to just address live if that's all right. So I'm going to try to go through what we have in the Q&A right now. Again, lots of questions about this. I'm happy to schedule a one-on-one with folks if they have questions. You will receive the prompts once you open your application, once they're live. We do have prompts that will be in more detail about each of the scholarship types. To start off with, again, this is going to be part of your main application. So you'll essentially have a yes or no question of whether or not you'd like to apply to scholarships, and it will continue to prompt you in the application. So we have a question that was applying to more than one scholarship between the 25 and 75%. And I didn't mention this during my slides, but you can apply to any, so we have the 3 different categories. You can apply to each of them if you like. Each does require their own scholarship essay, and the range is between 25 and 75% of the scholarship. When you receive a decision letter about your admission, you will also receive a letter regarding your scholarship status. And then additionally, I do see a question in the Q&A regarding readmits. I would suggest those folks reach out to our team directly, and so we can discuss your specific situation. If you last year, if you received your decision and you formally deferred your admission to this year, your scholarship status would also carry over. If that doesn't quite answer your question, please follow up with our team in email. Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. Thanks for your comments on scholarships and cost. There's a set of questions also related to capstone projects, and I would like to combine some of them and ask Emmy to give us answers on that. So there's a question asking that if the capstone projects are in groups, how is it being coordinated among the group members since the program is online? And also, from the capstone projects that participants get feedback from professors that is on the review, and will the project be formally presented to them? And also, will participants have the opportunity to have those online sessions with the professors?
Okay. Lots of questions about the capstone. Happy to answer them. Please remind me if I forget a question.
Yeah,
So
I will.
for the capstones, working with a partner, or if there's a special circumstance, working with a group, that is with an online course, we plan from the very beginning of the course that you're going to be working with someone. Whether it's in your first or second assignment, that partnership will be established. In addition, we encourage you to connect with your partner, not just within our online program, whether it is talking to them through email or meeting them in online live sessions, which happen once per week as part of the normal course. There's also the opportunity for us to work with you and your partner in kind of a mentorship situation in which we can organize meetings between you and your partner, as well as us if you need a little bit of extra help, but also ensuring that you're communicating with your partner on WhatsApp, or if you guys are in a similar geography and you want to see your selected landscape in person, that's also an opportunity. So there's a wide variety of options that works depending on your situation with your partner of your choosing. You do not have to work with a partner if you do not want to. We can be very, very flexible, whether you decide to work with a partner from the very beginning. If you think that identify someone later that may be a great partnership, those are a couple opportunities that we can be flexible with on a case-by-case basis. But in general, when it comes to the specific assignments for your capstone that you will be submitting, we make sure that when you submit them, those are marked for completion for both people in the group. So you're graded on the same assignment that you are working together offline or online with, that's submitted together at the same time. Okay, so that's one question, or maybe two, that I may have addressed about the capstone. The second one was about work, or one of them was about meeting with professors and mentors. Is that correct?
Participants receiving feedback from professors.
Cool. Okay, so when you do submit your assignments for your capstone course, we have approximately 8, I believe, if I remember correctly, through the length of the program, something around those lines. There's the opportunity to get feedback. This feedback can be in the form of a live session, extra help session, office hours, one-on-one meetings with mentors. There's a lot of different kind of virtual face-to-face opportunities to get this feedback. In addition, when you do submit your assignments, there's the opportunity for written feedback. So the lead instructors, peer mentors, co-instructors will have the opportunity to see the feedback that is being provided in written format on your assignments. Then, at the very end of the program, when you are presenting your capstone, it's a combination of all your assignments together that you have incorporated that feedback into the presentation about your project. There's the opportunity there to get feedback from your peers, other people in the program, getting about 3 people or 3 groups looking at your capstone, providing feedback, insights, experiences, recommendations, tools on what you are working towards. So a lot of different options there, and we're very flexible with it. I do want to tap on Jillian, just in case there's anything I am missing in terms of that feedback.
No, great summary, Emmy. To give an example, in the strategies course, for example, there are a few different assignments. Some of the assignments get feedback from internally from members of our team from the mentor team. And then one of the assignments gets feedback from our contributing instructor, a lecturer at the Yale School environment. And then at the end, the big assignment gets the written feedback and review from 2 Yale faculty members, Dr. Florencia Montanini and Dr. Ash Schmitz, who are both experts in agroforestry restoration and species conservation. So it's a combination. And for the capstone project course, our lead instructor, Dr. Amy Vetter, takes a look at your assignments periodically throughout the year. So she'll give, first, you'll usually have a round of review from our mentorship team, from the teaching assistants. Then she'll give a review of your project. And then that happens a few times during the year. And then at the end of the year, she'll comment on your written proposal. So the access to faculty is something that we do want to heavily emphasize. We know some programs out there have different range of interaction with the instructors, and this program really does try to help you have that, build that connection. We have the live sessions that the faculty members are coming to. They're curating the content. They're preparing weekly videos where they share to you what to expect for the week, so that so that you can see how they're envisioning the course. And even though the course might have a wide range of different experts and professionals featured, it's the faculty who are helping explain how it all fits together. So there is a very strong component of access to the faculty.
Yep. Great addition. Thank you, Jillian.
Yeah, thanks, Jillian and Emmy. So we have another set of questions related to full-time workers participating in the program. So how flexible is the program for full-time workers, and would you recommend this program to someone who is making a career pivot into this field, or is it for prior work degree in this field necessary beforehand?
Thanks, Fred. So yeah, happy to answer this one. The program has been designed to be a part-time program over the course of these 10 months, and it is designed to be flexible enough to work with the schedules of full-time employees. So we want the program to be something that you can do in addition to your personal and professional commitments. It still means dedicating time to the program. We don't want to take that lightly. And that you'll see that's one of the questions in the application process. How are you going to adjust your lifestyle or adjust your work schedule to make this work? So that you can take the time each week to watch the videos, to note reflections, to do readings, and to work on your assignments. But it is meant to be done for anywhere, I think, 4 to 6 hours a week, sometimes a little bit more if people want to dig deeper or have a lot of assignments that they're working on. And then sometimes it can be a little bit lighter. And our mentor team works with you if you have time that you have to go in the field, or that you know you'll be away from the internet or have a big deadline. We will work with you on how to adapt the program to meet your needs. So it is flexible in that regard. Um, is it for someone who's looking to make a career pivot in this field? We have had a wide range of participants. So as Emmy mentioned on one of the early slides, there's so much variety in who takes this program. And because of that, we designed the program that you don't have to have specific subject matter expertise or knowledge beforehand. It can be very helpful, and it can complement your work in the program. Or the more familiar you might be to the capstone project, perhaps the less work you would have to do to research the context from scratch. But for example, some people come into the program with a strong background in more of the natural sciences, and they're building up their exposure and to the social sciences and the many different social cultural aspects through the program. And sometimes it's the opposite. People come in through different experiences where they might be familiar with much more of the social side, and they're looking to build up their understanding of the ecology or everything in between. So you do not have to come in with specific prior work or a degree in the field. You are required to come in with an undergraduate degree or equivalent. So this is designed to be a postgraduate program in that way. But our participants have anywhere from being recent graduates from their field of study to being 10, 15, 20, even up to 40 years after they've taken their formal study. So again, it's very varied, and we designed the program to be customizable so that you can dig deeper on the subjects that you most need to supplement from your prior knowledge.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jillian.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jillian. I'll quickly like to take us back to the capstone project. So there was a question that will participants have the opportunity to present their capstone projects, and I think we didn't touch on that. So
Yeah, I
Emmy?
breezed over that a little, but yes, at the very end of the program, there is the opportunity to present uh, your capstone project live in front of a group of fellow participants, as well as peer mentors or faculty if they're available. In addition, there's the opportunity to receive that peer feedback from your fellow participants on any recommendations they may have, as well as things that they've experienced that may be helpful. And we also really encourage you to target your capstone presentation. Imagine it as if you are presenting to a group of your choice, whether that is investors, a local community, a government of your choice. That really helps you to target the goals of your capstone project.
Thanks, Emmy. And we're moving on to another set of questions, which is related to the courses that we offer here at LT and in relation to the courses that Yale School of the Environment offer to their graduate students. So, Gillian, please, would you like to answer these questions as I come up with them? How
Sure.
is this course related to other short courses that LT offers?
Okay, so well, LT offers a variety of training opportunities in the field and in an online setting. So for example, we offer a 5-week online short course. We had one that happened a few months ago. We've had different ones over the years on different themes. For some of the short courses, the the online tools and techniques and the pedagogy we use is very similar, but this 10-month program goes way deeper than a 5-week course. And so even if you've taken the course, you might see 1 or 2, maybe up to 5 familiar lectures. But there are over 100 different lectures available over the 10-week or 10-month course. So we definitely encourage you, if you had a positive experience in an LT short course, please do enroll in the 10-month course, this online certificate program. If you have not yet done a short course, that's okay. Most of our participants doing the certificate program have not, and you can just jump into the full course, the course of study over the year. If you're really uncertain, you want to see if this is the right pedagogy for you, you could plan to do the 5-week short course and then follow up with the year-long certificate program. Again, our team is very open to talking with you in more detail. So some of you, if you've taken the short course any time since from 2013 to now, I might know you already. I'm happy to meet with you. Or Fred just led the recent short course. Emmy and Abby are heavily involved as well. So reach out to us at tropicalcertificate@yale.edu, and we're happy to schedule a meeting to discuss your personal interests and plans and preparation for the different types of study.
Okay, thanks, Jillian. The next question is related to LT's connection with Yale School of the Environment graduate programs. So the first one is the course offered in the YSC graduate program, and two, if a participant would like to apply to the YSC graduate program, how does this course help?
Sure. So this program is related in that it is, if you look at the website for the Yale School Environment, they have a PhD program, which is in person, highly competitive, a very rigorous program. They have the master's programs. There are 4 different degrees you can get. Those are also in-person experiences, 2 years on campus. And then they have list their certificate programs. And the certificate programs are all between 6 and 12 months. Ours is 10 months. You can see in that those certificate programs are not in person, or they might have an optional in-person component, but they are online certificate programs. They are not for credit, for university credit, and they are not degree programs. So the idea behind the certificates is they're all achieving different goals. The faculty are the main faculty based at the Yale School environment are present throughout all of the different offerings of the school. So, for example, a lead instructor for um, our fundamentals course, Amity Doolittle, she gives, I think, 3 or 4 different lectures during our certificate program. She's active in the 8-week course of the fundamentals. You can schedule office hours with her. But if you're doing the 2-year masters, you might take full semester long courses with her, or you might have someone like her be a faculty advisor. It's just a different scale of education. So that's how they fit together. It's kind of a taste and then goes broader. The certificate programs are also much more, or at least our certificate program is really meant to be applied in nature. Whereas might have a faculty member who gives a whole 12-week course on the theory behind very heavy social science concepts. And we're asking them to do the difficult job of having the most practical focused content featured in a few lectures in our certificate program. So the depth is a little bit different, and the focus on application is different because the certificate program audience is a professional audience using this to supplement what they're doing in their personal and professional lives. That's one part of this question. Was there another? Oh, how does it lead into the masters? Yeah. So every year uh, around October, November, we advertise to the current certificate program participants the call for applicants to the master's program. And to date, I believe we've had somewhere between 6 and 8 members of our certificate program go on to do a master's at the Yale School environment. The admissions processes are separate, so our team here, you see the 4 of us, do not have a bearing on whether or not you're accepted to the master's program. But I would say that it's a really nice taste of what the wide range of what the school has to offer. We've had some of those people who went on to do the master's. By doing the certificate program, they got to see which faculty members they connected to, which topics they wanted to explore in more detail. They got back into the mindset of studying, especially after being outside of a university setting for a while. And that all served as good preparation to start the master's. So if you're interested in more detail on that, we're happy to share more. If some of you are interested just strictly in an in-person degree program, we encourage you to apply to the degree programs.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jillian. So we move on to our last and final question, and I would like you to answer that. How is the program graded?
Great question. So each core course is graded. It's pass-fail. Essentially, we encourage you to submit as many as you can up to a certain point. We consider a 70% the passing grade for a course. With that, each course is different in terms of like how the specific assignments are graded, but they range from completion grades where you've handed it in, you've completed it, we provided feedback on it, so you get a check mark. Or there are some that get a numerical grade, and that is graded based on a rubric of you addressing the specific components of the assignment. This all being said, when it comes to your capstone project, you must submit your capstone project in order to complete the course and receive a certificate at the end of the program. That is one of the requirements for the course. The way that the capstone assignments are graded is in terms of not just you handing it in, receiving the completion, but how are you addressing the feedback that you are receiving from the instructors and other peer mentors or other feedback from your peers but also how are you addressing the specific components that will be required in order to create a successful project? What are the situations you're considering, the communities you are considering, and making sure a lot of those different aspects are being addressed. So really what we look to do when we're grading these projects is make sure that you are encompassing as much information as you need to have or consider for that project. And how are you incorporating that? How are you learning with it? How are you evaluating it? How is it developing? So that's how we consider the grading. It's more of a learning process rather than a situation in which you've passed or you've failed, because every context is so different. We want to make sure that you are getting the tools needed in order to successfully complete this project.
To build on what Emmy said, the grades are so that we can know at the end. So we're at the end of the program, we have a standard for successful completion that determines whether or not you get the signed certificate signed by the Dean of the Yale School Environment and our LT's director, Eva Guerin. And so that's mostly how we use the grades and to measure progress along the way. But because it is a non-degree program, the grades are not associated with a transcript. And we encourage you to submit, resubmit assignments. We encourage participants not to get too nervous about the grading system, as it's very different from as a professional program or program for professionals than it would be if you were an on-campus student.
Yeah, thanks so much, Abby, Emmy, and Jillian for answering all our questions. With that, we'll come to the end of the Q&A section.
Thanks, Fred. Emmy, if you could reshare, we just have a couple more notes for you all, and then we're just about at time. So just some reminders. I'm going to put in the chat some links and some additional notes. So as you see in our slide here, we do have our website link and our email. We do see some raised hands still and some folks that may have additional questions, but like I mentioned, we are just about at time. So please email any questions to our team at tropicalcertificate@yale.edu. That email is in the chat if you need it. And this can be either directly after this session, a month from now as you begin to apply for your application, or as you begin to apply, or really at any other time during the application process. We are here to support you throughout that process and are more than happy to help. Again, this session has been recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel. You should also receive the link in a day or two after the webinar concludes. And then lastly, please join us at one of our upcoming coffee chats. We have 2 next week, one on January 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and one on January 17th at 3 o'clock p.m. And then finally, on behalf of my colleagues, Jillian, Fred, and Emmy, thank you all so much for coming to today's session. We look forward to seeing you at some upcoming learning sessions and seeing your applications soon. Thank you again, everyone. Take care.